it's a snow day. This would be better in slow motion. So because it's a snow day, I have this thing that I want to do as kind of a, not the usual for these videos, but I think you'll like it. 1 second while we get things ready. Why am I outside, you ask?
Gotta love Colorado, man. You know, it's February the 1st.
It's actually not that cold. I'm really surprised.
It's really wonderful out here, this fairy wonderland. I grew up in South Georgia, and I never thought I would have spent most of my adult life in Colorado, but wow, it has been a ride.
I see why you like it. It's real nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit. I was talking about having lived in Colorado for 30 years, but I also wanted to talk about what the first 25 years from my life I was in Georgia or Alabama going to college or whatever, but I grew up in a little small town in southwest Georgia. And when I was a kid, oh, did you love this?
This is awesome.
I kept little diaries of my life, and I thought to myself when I was 12, 13, 14, oh, someday I want to be a writer. And I'll have all this great source material to be inspired by and take me on a trip into the past. Yeah, I was really thinking those things when I was that young an age. But anyway, I just recently retired, and so now I really have a chance to sort of put pen to paper, so to speak. And I wanted to share with you guys a couple of the things that I have written. I've put 10 small stories out on Medium, and they're all about 3-minute reads, maybe 4 minutes. And I wanted to just take you on my first little journey. I do have a printout because I'm going to send it to one of my friends who doesn't have computer access, but anyway. So it's called, the first reading is That Dream. So please pardon me while I sort of read from it.
Cool.
From the time I was an 11-year-old sixth grader, the winter of 1964. All throughout my life, I had a dream to someday be a writer. Then life got in the way. Yikes. I lost my mom before I turned 16, and seemed that I was on my way to be an adult way too soon. Surprisingly, though, my journey, those next years, was nothing short of idyllic, rather than tragic, as one might imagine. Naturally, I mourned the loss of a parent gone way too soon. Although I did grow up fast doing some of the things my mother had done in our family, like paying the monthly bills and cooking some of the meals for my dad and me and helping with grocery shopping, keeping the house somewhat tidy. Somewhat. I still found a way to be a teen. I spent time with my friends, I got my driver's license, I went to college, and I even experienced a trip to Europe the summer I graduated from high school, thanks to having an older brother who lived and worked in Germany. From a small-town southern experience in a family of modest means, I looked optimistically ahead. My father was a small-town postmaster whose yearly income, by the time he retired in 1977, was a big whopping $17,000 a year. My life's beginning journey might have seemed restricted to some, if examined strictly from the perspective of financial advantage or stability. It was quite an adventure. Anything felt possible. Being from small-town USA didn't feel restrictive in the least to me. I knew there were limits, but only if I allowed them to be. I must admit I had a mentor from my own household, because around the time I turned 13, my brother, my oldest brother, had really broken out of traditional confines, and he was actually living and working in Europe at age 27. All things were possible. Now I'm exploring directions to go with my dream of writing. What you're reading here is an essay to myself, a moment of self-reflection. Wow, it's cold out here.
It is now.
After having spent 37 years in both full-time and part-time work, I recently retired. I am going to make the time to write. I simply refuse to relegate that dream to some lower priority. No longer will I settle for the mindset, oh, I'll do that someday. Someday is today. This post, by the way, was January the 5th, and I'm not going to complete it, but it was my beginning, and it's a picture of the little post office where my father worked. It's available at medium.com/growingupindixie. all of that hyphenated, the growing up in Dixie.
Hyphens, super annoying. I'll put a link to it in
All
the
right.
description of the video.
Cool.
Cool. Thank you for reading.
You're very welcome.
Let's go inside.
Let's go inside. Oh my goodness.
That was colder than I expected. Not at first,
We're
but
fine.
after a second.
So you should take a picture
Am
of
I?
yourself with your
Am I
hair.
covered in snow?
Oh yeah.
Oh, this is nice.
It's cool.
That was really fun. I liked that. Thank you for reading.
Hey, that was fun. Look
was
at
really
us.
cool.
We got snow on our hair.
This is a good look for us. It's so nice outside. How could we not go out in that? It's so cool. Yeah, so I hope you guys liked that. It was pretty fun. I think it's great that she's doing this, and I think you should go read her posts. Not just because she's my mom, because it's a very interesting perspective on something you don't hear a lot about, but also because she's my mom. So go do that. Thanks for watching. Bye.